Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with this. This is a Touchless Fair collection and Huntsville's token transit launch. A little background. This has been going on for a little while. Dr. Anderson, Dr. Mary, Brad Lindsay, Randy, University of Alabama, Ed Phillips. There's a lot of people that had their hand in this grant initially to help us get going. And correct me if I'm wrong, it's the COVID-19 research grant, right? Is that what we're calling it? Okay. And there's different parts of this grant. Let me move on here. This was kind of the stock statement here about the grant. But basically, to sum it all up, 10 agencies were chosen across the state to try to do some of this work for. 9 rural, 1 urban. The urban was Huntsville Transit, which we'll get to in a second. But let's see here. The objectives for this grant, there's 4 main objectives. One of them was, the COVID-19, the disinfecting of the buses and everything else. Just a standard plan to kind of reassure the riders. Also, this is more Dr. Mary's section, but also mine transit ridership and observation data to help local agencies. Contactless fares. This is the only area I've really been helping with on this grant. And the 4th one is we're looking at surveys and just measures. We're going to have, if you haven't been contacted, the agencies are in the study. If you haven't been contacted by Crown Consulting, we're doing videos for your agency. Just kind of, rebuild the perception that transit's safe to ride, it's clean. Okay. These are the agencies that were involved or are involved. This is still right in the middle of this project. So we appreciate them being willing to volunteer and help. And I'm moving on to the contactless fares. Okay. Like I said, this was my main focus on this grant. I started off by researching contactless fares. What do they mean? What's the options out there? I sat through a lot of demos, and really, Dr. Anderson will attest to this too, but as soon as the grant was awarded, I started getting contacted like crazy from different companies. And this was only one part of the grant, but in their mind, they thought all the money was theirs for the whole grant if they could get the business. So, like I said, sat through a lot of demos. I tried to find the true pricing. You know how things go. You sit through a presentation and they keep you on the hook for a long time, and you have to really beat them down to get what the actual price is. Equipment, no equipment. What's the installation process? How hard is it? I set up a few demos with some of the other agencies on that list with some different companies. One of them being Huntsville, which we'll get to in just a second. Red tape, there were some issues. Just a lot of going back and forth with companies to get true pricing and everything else. Also with John, he doesn't like to take my emails, so every email I send him gets blocked for some reason. It doesn't matter where it's from. So, but he can send me stuff. So it's a pretty good system for John because I have to listen to him, but he doesn't have to listen to me. So it's working out good for him. Okay, this was just a small set of some prices for contactless fares. You'll see on top token transit, which is kind of the focus of Huntsville and what they've been doing. But I had several other ones. There are some companies like CTS that do software and they do contactless fares. And I know Jeff's over there. And there's some other software companies that do it too. So I would say explore all your options, but some of them, and Randy, I know we sat through one a long time ago, but some of the prices for equipment were just outrageous. Like there'd be no point in doing it, So when we finally made it to John and we started talking about different companies, I set up a demo with Token Transit, and Token Transit was what kind of motivated me was they do all the marketing, they do all the work. There's no money you have to put down. It's just basically 10% of your fares, and that's it. So, this is Sam Daly. It was funny because a lot of this pre-work was done during COVID, so everything was virtual. A lot of meetings. I think at one point he was taking care of his parents. And there was meetings in like a storage room or something. So we were all struggling to make a connection. But he did a really good job of trying to. They were, I mean, I don't know how many demos we did. At least 5 or 6, right? He was always willing to do it and explain everything. And you know, it was formed by former Google and Apple employees, which you got a big, you got the feel of that because they're very intelligent. And I mean, even in the first demo, though, I think that we did, they could pull your logo and put it on a bus, and I mean, put it on their system and kind of show everything. So, but it all kind of came down to for Huntsville and me for our first real attempt at this contactless fares. You know, will it be adopted? What is the risk? You know, there's no risk, correct? You can pretty much drop it whenever you want, right? Yeah. So, yeah, their customer service is good. I'll let John get into all the marketing stuff, but that was just kind of my part of it. I'm just trying to, with those test agencies, I'm just trying to connect them to different companies. And there's a few others that were decent, but when you start looking at having to actually install equipment and everything else, it's very cost prohibitive. The point of it is to be safe and provide a service where you can get on the bus and not have to touch anything, and also just the ease of doing everything through your cell phone. I think we'll see a lot more of it, but there's also, you know, we had a lot of questions too because of our communities. You know, I learned a new term, the unbanked, basically those people that don't have credit cards or have access to do things online because of their finances. But there's always a way around it. There's cards and other things you can buy, and John may say a little bit about that too. But other than that, if you have any questions about contactless fares, feel free to come find me. I can tell you the good and the bad. I'm worried about saying too much of the bad in case any vendors hear it. So anyway, but I'm going to turn it over to John, and appreciate all your help with this project too.
Look forward to seeing the potential of where this is going to go. Okay, Huntsville launched the Token Transit Fare app about 1 month ago, February 22nd. And so to date, I think we've collected a little over $1,200 through the app, just over 80 different users, and I think I can't remember the number, maybe close to 200 different transactions or ticket fare products purchased. So at first you wonder, well, is anybody going to use that? Most of our riders, regardless of income, do have smartphones, and it is, I think it will grow and mature over time. So why use a smartphone app for fare collection? Convenience of purchasing and storing bus fares through your personal cell phone instead of having to have cash on your person or purchase tickets at a transit ticket office. Additionally, monthly passes purchased through the app are valid for a rolling 31 days as opposed to a calendar month. So that's been an advantage for the customers. Fare products are stored on the phone, so you don't have to keep up with tickets and passes lost or misplaced. Social service agencies, a lot of the ones we work with, they come to our office prior to having the app, and they'll purchase tickets in bulk, hundreds of single ride tickets for their clients. Now they can do so through a web portal and store on cell phones, and can send fare products to their clients through a text message. The new app has the ability to distribute passes to hundreds, even thousands, through a simple text message, which makes it attractive for schools, colleges, universities, companies. So the potential is could really be a game changer. It would give us potentially the ability to deeply discount bulk purchases and have those buyers able to send, let's say, a semester pass or a 6-month pass to all their employees or all of their students through a text message. Huntsville Transit and Token Transit are linked through Google, so you can plan your trip and you can buy your fare products all in the same place on your phone. So how do you get started? There's no software to purchase, no upfront cost. You simply set up a revenue account to receive deposits from Token. Now, our agreement with UAH Office of Public Transportation, for the first year up to $5,000, the grant is going to reimburse us for the 10% that goes to Token Transit. So here's how it works. Customers can download the Token app for free on their phone, and each of you should have the little blue card. There's a QR code. You can download the app for free on both the iPhone or Android. Token receives the full amount of fare products purchased. Token deposits 90% of all the fares collected through the app to the city of Huntsville, and then they provide us weekly reports of sales and deposits. All that provided by Token. They do not do all of the marketing, but they do provide a lot of the marketing support and give us different videos to help train drivers and printed materials that we can work from. The web portal tracks sales in real time. And as I mentioned earlier, social service agencies, colleges, universities, and companies can purchase in bulk and distribute to client students through a text message. This is a screenshot of a dashboard, I think after the first couple of weeks, and you can see it shows unique paying users. At that point in time was 55, passes sold 176, gross sales 813. Now we're, as of yesterday, I think over $1,200. So it didn't just go to the moon right off on the first day, but just like if you put in a new bus route, it takes almost a year for a new bus route to mature. We think as the word gets out and more people see how easy it is, that these numbers will just go up and up. And with that, be happy to answer any questions. All right, thank you very much.